Hello beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another travel vlog. I'm going on holiday with my family, which is so exciting because we haven't been on a family holiday in years, so come along with us. We went to Cornwall, and if you're not familiar with it, it's a county in the southwest of England. It's the westernmost and southernmost county in the UK. Here is a quick and not very stable tour of the exterior, and here's the cottage we stayed in. My brother and I played badminton using that washing line. A bit of background on Cornwall: it has its own language called Cornish, and I believe there are around 500 fluent speakers. Some examples are Yeches da, which is cheers, and Gorhemenado Anguela, which is best wishes. The language actually went extinct previously, but because of a revival movement in the 20th century, it's back. We stayed in the St Austell area, and of course day one was going to our favourite beach in the world. We are not a family of sunbathers, so we usually spend our time on beaches looking for fossils and shells. While very fun, we do have to put any shells back because it's actually illegal in the UK to remove any natural materials, including shells, from beaches. As you can see, we do not let that stop our quest though. It might just be because it's only May, but look how empty this beach is. We're also not a family of people though, so not a complaint, more of an observation. Very relaxing. I found a nice little dark cave to retreat to because, as we all know, I do not like the sun. My family's just over there eating scones, and I am sat here admiring the beautiful beach. Cave tour. I was sat on a flat rock and it was so nice and cool. I was sat in here for a solid half hour rehydrating and admiring the rocks. The tide was quite far out, so we gallivanted over to some of the rock pools on the far side of the beach. An enemy spotted, a lot of mussels spotted. I feel like this is quite excessive. I would find this arrangement very claustrophobic. We found an absolutely elite rock pool, and then my brain malfunctioned, and I forgot that animals actually live in some of these shells, so I popped her back. After a rapid catfish catch and release, we came across these purple jellies. That one was sadly no longer with us, but this one was merrily wafting along. I think these little beach puddles are called tide pools. Then we found these three, one dead, two alive, and I realised that one of the baby's tentacles was stuck under the dead one.
Oh, I think he's stuck. He's stuck.
The good thing is I remained calm. I freed him with my finger and then the tide came in.
Jelly!
Getting soaking wet might have actually been my punishment for being stupid, because I just looked up these jellyfish and they're called mauve stingers. Apparently their stings can be very painful, but they're not typically life-threatening. I probably should have looked that up beforehand. I continued on my shell quest while my flip-flops dried out. This is absolutely disgusting, but I realised I've had these flip-flops since I was 13. I'm 33, so maybe the ocean was trying to do me a favour. The following day, my brother and I did some exploring. The owners of the cottage we stayed in also owned all of this land, so we had pretty much free rein to roam around. There were so many facilities, it was really cool, and we were just in the greenhouse here. We didn't quite appreciate how much there was to see. I think we ended up doing about 10,000 steps, but it was so peaceful. I like to think these hedges are cats because I'm not sure what else they would be. A small moment of drama on the bench, and then we went to see the sheep. When I was a child and we went to a farm, I took some of a sheep's wool thinking I could weave something out of it. Turns out that that's not how it works. There is cleaning and processing involved. I ended up with a very smelly pocket.
Exhibit A.
Follow me for more tips on how to do stuff. I had no idea that redwoods existed in the UK, but as you can see, they do. I was brought up in the countryside in the southwest of England, not in Cornwall though, so I absolutely love just exploring nature. We admired some mushrooms, and then that duck scared the absolute crap out of me. I tripped over a rock and then revealed this little lizard. I was so scared he was dead, thought I'd have to start CPR. Thank goodness he wasn't though, he did start moving, so we returned him to his little soily bed. I feel so bad because he must have been really scared, poor little thing. We collected some firewood from the stock outside, and then my brother and I decided to play tennis on the courts. I do want to preface this by saying it's absolutely okay to be jealous. It must be difficult for some of you to see such flair and athleticism on the courts. That stellar form and just the inimitable ability to occasionally hit the ball is innate in me. Venus and Serena have been very quiet since this went live, and haters will say it's because I'm recording this voiceover before the video's been posted. If you'd like one-to-one coaching with me, I strongly suggest you change your mind. Little bit of reading in the Sun to disprove the vampire allegations. Also, I gave up alcohol a couple of months ago because it interacts with my medication, and Heineken does a 0% lager. It's so nice. That's what I'm drinking here, highly recommend. The following day we went to Padstow, and I loved the idea that a seagull would take an entire pasty. We stopped at an inn for a quick coffee and then found a really nice place for lunch. I had avocado and poached eggs on sourdough bread and this green juice. Naturally, we got sidetracked by this beautiful looking bakery. We went into this toy shop looking for a gift for my little niece, and we decided on this jellycat frog. I'm not a huge jellycat person, but I saw this little coral in the window and thought she was so sweet, so I bought her for myself. Of course, you cannot go to Cornwall without buying some Cornish fudge. Just look at this window display. I wanted to turn into Kirby and just inhale all of it. It's called the Buttermilk Artisan Confectionery, and I cannot recommend it enough. The lady is so kind. I always ask permission before filming in shops, by the way. Just look at the variety, and each of these bags was £3.99 each, or 3 for £10. For the quality, I think that is so reasonable. I was absolutely mesmerised, as you can probably tell. I'm so glad we found this place.
I'm gonna mess it up now. Oh, that was so satisfying, thank you.
Tell me that's not the most beautiful sound you've ever heard. Back to the cottage. We spent the day in Padstow and I bought a couple of things, so I just thought I'd show you while I am sat on our terrace. I always like buying local books whenever I'm visiting somewhere, so I bought 13 Cornish ghost stories. I read I've been here nearly 400 years and it was an immediate yes. I didn't actually film myself buying this, but I got a little pigeon ornament. If you don't already know, I absolutely love pigeons, I always have. And look how beautiful she is, I like the little fluffy bits on her tail. Last week I actually volunteered with London Pigeon Rescue, which is an organisation that helps with Stringford. I was taught how to identify the ones that are in pain and then how to treat them and how to release them. I'll actually link their details below if you're interested. I have named my little jellycat Coral. Look at her little flappy legs. Now onto the fudge I bought from the buttermilk shop. I thought I bought quite a lot, but we ended up eating it all in one evening, and by we I mean me. I got clotted cream, vanilla and maple and walnut. Clotted cream is my absolute favourite flavour of fudge, and there is no better place to buy it than Cornwall. When we visited Cornwall as children, we always used to get the clotted cream flavour, so it really reminds me of my childhood. And the little slices as well, oh my goodness, I did eat this one straight away because I touched it. The following day we went to Mevagissey, which is another Cornish town. There were more antique shops here, so we did some perusing and then headed over to the harbour. Again, being here just brought back so many memories. Ooh, tempting? No, not really. And then for lunch in typical Cornish fashion, we had pasties. Probably should have gone for a Cornish pasty, but I had cheese and onion instead. Pleased to say that we did not get attacked by seagulls, but I did see one girl have an entire ice cream snatched by one. It must have been so annoying, but now that sign where it said they're being especially bold makes sense. Some footage courtesy of my brother. The sun is so bright, but we're in Mevagissey today. The pasties were actually quite filling, so I sat down for a while to marinate and digest. I would love to know who or what else is trying to drink this water. My mother actually sent me this card once, which is so rude, but also really funny and justified.
Relaxed, chilled. Oh, what's he doing? Where's your mummy? Careful, careful, careful. Go on then. You can see they're totally at ease with this. Really don't care, do they?
Do not give a sh**.
Not give a sh**. That's exactly it.
You saw it in a brief clip earlier, but I did actually buy this psychiatric ward sign. I've been in a psych ward twice, in case you didn't know. I'm in ongoing treatment and therapy, and I'm on meds. One of my coping mechanisms is dark humour, as you can probably tell. I thought about putting it on my front door, and then I realised even for me that's a little bit weird. On to the next day's adventure.
Come on. Hey.
Oh no, I'm definitely going to eat one of these. Mediterranean fig? That there is a snack. It would be rude not to, seeing as we're in Cornwall. I bought a hat. And this, my friends, is why you should look in a mirror before buying a hat, because it looks terrible on me. We're at the Lost Gardens of Heligan, which is Europe's largest garden restoration project. There is so much to see. It's a really beautiful place, so I highly recommend visiting if you're in the area. It's 200 acres, so very large. Some parts make you feel like you're in a completely different country. The backstory of this place is actually really interesting. The history is long and complex, but essentially a lot of the workforce went off to fight in the First World War, and sadly they didn't return. It was awakened and restored in 1990, and now there is once again a large workforce. Look how wobbly this is. But it's so pretty down there. I think it just felt wobbly walking over it because it's so narrow. I don't think we ended up even exploring half of it, even though we spent about 5 hours there. We came across this really sweet epitaph on a bench. It says, "In loving memory of Jan and Gina Smith, who travelled the world but loved this place the most." This is where I belong.
Howdy.
You actually filmed it? Oh no. Looking like the epitome of style there. Really shouldn't have bought that hat. The whole holiday was nice and relaxing, and it was so nice to spend time with my family. If you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.